Yeah, good morning everyone. Today I would like to discuss that endogenous hazards and disasters. And if you see that what is an endogenous hazard and disaster, endogenous is nothing but actually the hazards and disasters is happen within the earth crust. We can call it as an endogenous hazards. So in that endogenous hazards, generally, if you see here, there is a first one is a volcanic eruption, and there is an earthquakes and landslides. So these three are comes under in a endogenous hazards. So here, I want to explain. There is a Big Bang theory to understand this one very quickly. So here, what is happened? What is the reason to form the Earth surface? That is huge explosion is going to be done within the sun, and then that lava or magma is going to be explode in the spaces, and later the small particle can be condensated, and then finally there is a formation of the earth. So but here if you see that this is slowly going to be cooled down, and finally formation of the rocks is going to be takes place, but certain portion of the earth crust, so there is definitely the art magma or lava which is going to be existed. Everybody knows that there is a tectonic plates are there. So bottom of the tectonic plates there is a lava or magma is going to be flow like as in a fluid. So that's why what is happened that earth is going to be revolving around it, and later it is revolving around the sun. That's the reason. That means bottom of the tectonic plates what is existed, everybody knows that the tectonic plates are is going to be moving. Because of that we got collision or whatever it may be, we got an earthquake like that they said, but how they are going to be moving here? Because the lava or magma is going to be existed and is going to be flow like as in a fluid at the bottom of the tectonic plates. Now, so anyhow that means it which is happens within the earth crust. If you any hazards or disaster is came within the earth crust, we can call it as endogenous hazards. And simultaneously what is an exogenous hazard, you may got it out. That means that something is going to be hazard or disaster is takes place above the earth surface, we can call it as exogenous hazards. But anyhow today I would like to explain very briefly regarding that volcanic eruptions and then earthquake and landslide it causes and hazardous effects and environmental impacts is there. So I want to explain volcanic eruptions. Volcanic eruption is nothing but there is an explosion or explode is going to be takes place at the volcanoes, especially for hot spots. So likewise we can call it is in a volcanic eruptions. So if you see that there is any causes, the heading is called causes. Now in the case of causes, if you see that there is a tectonic movements. So because of the tectonic movements, how the earthquake is going to be takes place, you just raise a question. And now already I told there is a movement of the tectonic plates. So in the movement of the tectonic plates, so they may be diverged or may be converged. So then definitely what is happened, they may be diverged, and the bottom what I said, there is a liquid magma or lava is there at the bottom of the tectonic plates. If it is diverged, the what is there in the bottom, it is there in the bottom, it's in a magma. So the plates are is going to be diverged, the magma or lava is going to be come out from the from bottom to top, then we cause there is a volcanic eruptions. Likewise because of the movement of the tectonic plates, you got any volcanic eruptions. And next one, there is an hot spot. So there is an hot spot is nothing but what is an hot spot, I already told that while formation of the earth it is going to be cooled down and it's become a rock, but somewhere something there is heat is going to be existed, it is going to be burning every time, and it's later it's going to be burning around its material. And so that if any explode material is going to be touches, or otherwise there is a movement called there is a gases is going to be released from that the burning process, so that at that moment definitely there is a cause of the volcanoes eruptions. And now if you see that there is the next one is pressure buildup. So pressure buildup is nothing but, so the magma or whatever it may be there in the bottom, so it will create in a pressure at the bottom. So that means it like as in a pressure cooker. So for example, pressure cooker. So in the pressure cooker, what is happen, that whenever the pressure is more than the capacity is going to be come out. Similarly here also what is happened, the magma lava is going to be heated heavily, so that it may creating a lot of pressure. There is no capability to exist within the earth crust, so that there suddenly there is comes from that particular thing because of the tectonic plates. Here the movement is not going to be takes place, and there is no explode materials are there, and but here what is happened, because of the pressure it's going to be push the tectonic plates, and finally it is going to be come out. So likewise it's in a causes of the volcanoes eruptions. And if you see that there is an next one is an hazardous effects. So in this hazardous effects, there is an what is happen if the lava flows is, so there is everything is going to be distracted. That means for example, if you take an Anantagiri, so Anantagiri hill is one of the volcanoes hot spot if you take it, and then what is happen from that, there is an explosion is going to be takes place, and then the lava is going to be flow like as in a fluid through the houses, through the roads, and everything is going to be burned, and finally totally that area is going to be distracted. Likewise there is a hazardous effects takes place. And if you take it here, there is a pyroclastic flows, and pyroclastic flows is nothing but there is a moving of clouds of hot gas that it going to be reaches very quickly, and then finally what is happened, they may be cause of any death. Likewise what is happened, the gases are is going to be released, and then it is going to be move very fastly, and then it going to be create a lot of environmental issues and as well as the health issues for the humans. Then if you see that there is a volcanic ash, so if the volcanic ash is going to be there at the moment of the volcanoes eruptions, then definitely what is happen, there is a crop is going to be damages, and the next one is we have that maybe humans or animals they got a respiratory problems. Likewise there is a damage is going to be takes place, water pollution, air pollution, and likewise you got land pollution also, and then because of the volcanic ash. And if you see that there is next one is a volcanic gases. So if you see that volcanic gases, there are two types of things, sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide, oxygen sulfides are can be released from this particular explosion, so that it may leads to create a respiratory problems for the human beings, and then if it is a concentration is very high. So likewise there is a hazardous effects. So I want to tell here that totally the destruction is takes place, that human can be died, and then air get be contaminated, and water get be contaminated, or land can be contaminated, and likewise you have a lot of hazardous effects are there because of the volcanoes eruptions. And now if you see that there is an environmental impacts, so what are the environmental impacts is takes place, the air quality. Just before what I am discussing, that cause of the there is a pollutants are is going to be released from the burning, and it is going to be contaminating the air, so that there is a climate going to be changes very quickly. So that maybe if you observed any areas they got a burn, yet evening suddenly they may reducing the temperature levels at that particular area. And similarly there is a soil fertility. So here one of the disadvantage, actually it's not a disadvantages. If you see that in the farmers there is a ash is going to be fall down on the land, so that it can be improving the fertility capacity of the soil, so that is an environmental effect which takes place. And coming to that next one is there is a habitat destruction. In the habitat destructions, if you see that actually what is habitat destruction, something is going to be happen regularly without any disturbance. So that for example today I want to go to college, because of the volcanoes eruption I am not going to be college. So there is what I am doing here, I am changing my habit because of this incident is going to be takes place. So that in a similar way here also that animals habitats are is going to be changed, and their new forms is going to be formed. That means instead of seeing the TV, instead of they are seeing the cell phone. Likewise, what is happening, the habits is going to be changed. So for example, I will give one animal related example. So the snake is actually, snakes, they want to go to the fields and finally they want to catch their food. And then if it is this such kind of things are volcanic eruptions is going to be takes place at that particular area, the snake is going to be come out or is going to be escaping from that particular zone. That means he is traveling to another places, he is changing his habit. Actually he want to hunt the animals to for sake of food and feeding himself. So that here what is happened, because of this activity, the activity is going to be changed. That's it, that is called as a habitat destruction. And if you say that there is a climate change, so in the climate change what is happened, there is suddenly it can be cool or suddenly it can be heat. Likewise, there is a climate changes will going to be takes place very rapidly if in the case of the volcanoes eruption is going to be takes place. And now if you see that there is a next one, and this endogenous, that one of the topic is there is yeah, you see here there is a next one is an earthquake. And what is an earthquake here? So what are the causes for earthquake? If you see that, it's in a causes of the earthquakes. Generally, if you see the tectonic movements here also, so if it is diverging or maybe converging, so there is an impact. So impact is also going to be creating a problem. For example, these tectonic plates are moving fault line, then you got there is an earthquake. So for example, I will give an example to understand this one. For example, there is a roadway is there. So unfortunately the driver, they don't find the right road to travel, then he may enter to wrong route. So at the time of wrong route, what is happening, he may enter to another road. So another, if he may enter to another road, another vehicle is going to be hit this vehicle, and finally what is happening, impact is going to be takes place. In a similar way, what is happen here, so if this movement of the tectonic plates is entered into the wrong or fault line, then automatically what is happened, there is a causes of there is earthquakes. So that is one more thing. And next one is you got there is because of human activities. Here you see that there is one example. If you see that Russia in August month, so in the Russia there is 20 times within a 1 month, 20 times there is a cause of earthquake. So you know what is the reason here? So because there is a war is going on between the Russia and Ukraine. So it is going to be continue on from last 2 years onwards, and finally what is happened, they may explode material, so that that bombs is going to be impact the earth surface, it may create in a vibration, and finally what is happened, the movement of the tectonic plates is going to be changed, and finally it's going to be entered into this particular faulty line, and finally maybe it can be diverging or it can be converging. You got this kind of earthquakes. And can if you see that there is volcanic activities also. So there is volcanic bombs. Previously I said that there is a volcanic bomb. If the volcano's explosion is going to be takes place, and then from that the huge mass of the lava is going to be explode into the sky, and then is going to be fall down on the land, and it's also like as a bomb actually. So that it's going to be hit the earth surface, and finally what is happening, you may get the earthquakes. And then if you see that there is an hazardous effects, so in this hazard effects there is a ground going to be shaking, and surface is going to be rupture, and you got tsunamis, and you got landslides. These are all called the hazardous effects. So I want to explain that tsunamis here. So you know that when the tsunami is going to be takes place, actually the earthquake is going to be takes place below the sea area, and then you got there is tsunami, because it is going to be, so for example this is a land is there bottom of the sea, and now it's going to be diverging, then what is there in the water, what is there in the top, water is there. So if these tectonic plates are is moving away, the water is going to be entered, and finally what is happen here, the water is going to be entered once, and then again this tectonic plates is going to be comes to its original position, so that it may create in the pressure, and finally you got these tsunamis. And if you see that there is an next one, environmental impacts are there. So in these environmental impacts, if you say that there is a land changes is going to be takes place, and the soil liquefaction is going to be takes place, habitat destruction is going to be takes place, and then water contamination is going to be takes place. Then I want to explain that what is a liquefaction here very clearly. So in the case of the liquefaction, so this earthquake is going to be caused, is going to be caused in that means continuously, so that actually that land is like this, it is in a stable position, but if it is shaking like that, and that means what is the liquefaction here, if the earthquake is going to be takes place continuously, then the vibrations are is going to be there in the soil continuous, so that the soil is going to be move like as there is an water, so that is called liquefaction. So likewise there is a land lands is going to be changed, that means land can be distracted, at same time water is going to be contaminated. I want to explain this one also. So if the water can be contaminated means there is a within the earth crust there is a flow of water, and then because of this movement is going to be changed, and then finally what is happen, you got water is also can be contaminated. Likewise we have there is an effects and environmental impacts of the earthquakes. And thank you so much for and any doubts you can put the message, so that I can reply for your queries if you have any doubts regarding. Thank you.